Bright Duty. Every student matters.
With that, we come to topic 7, which is the last topic of this chapter. And here we look at how rivers have been important to the human civilization, how rivers have acted as an important factor for our livelihood, for the livelihood of human beings. Okay? So rivers from the very beginning have been of great use for us. Okay? Because it has provided water to drink, to wash, to clean, and it has also provided food, because in the river, in the ocean, in the sea, seafood are always available. And over time, when people learned to use water, rivers and ocean and sea, they began to realize that it can be used as a very important mode of transport. So they began to build boats, and once they knew how to navigate, use the boat, then they also began to use rivers and ocean and sea as easy mode of travel. Okay, it became very easy for them to travel from India to Europe, to America, and from America to Australia and other parts of the globe. Okay, so the river valleys, which are formed by the river systems, they also provide easy routes for people to go from one place to another. Okay, people cannot climb on the mountain up and then down. That becomes very hectic, that becomes very difficult, and especially if you are carrying loads. So the river valleys act as very easy routes for people and animals to just cut through the mountain and then reach the other side of the mountain or the other places. Now the river valleys also provide very fertile land. The valleys are very fertile, where cultivation is very productive. Okay, and rivers also help in the production of electric power. Okay, from the rivers we get electricity. Dams are built on the rivers, and from there electric power is generated, and with that electricity is provided to villages, to cities, to towns, and the entire country. So you see how river has been very important over the years. Now rivers also found boundaries of countries. Okay, it also acts as boundaries. It separates one country from another. Okay, it separates India from Tibet. It separates India from China. It separates India from Bangladesh. Okay, it helps us understand that on the other side of the river lies Nepal. On this side of the river lies India. So that way rivers also help form boundaries. Okay, and with that creation of natural boundary, people are not making it, then one can also control and check who is passing that boundary, who's crossing that boundary, who's coming in and going out. Okay, now from the very beginning, when human civilization flourished or began, it was only because of the river valley or the river system that those civilizations could thrive, those civilizations could flourish, because river was there, water was plentiful, food was provided with the help of river system, right? And as a result, the civilization could thrive. I'm sure you must have learned about Indus Valley Civilization, Harappan Civilization in your history classes. And there you see these civilizations were formed in the areas of the river system. Alright? So you see the rivers have acted as important lifelines to sustain the lives of the people, to sustain the lives of the human civilization. Even today, rivers and water is very important for our sustenance, for our livelihood. We need water Okay, we utilize water, and many times we also misuse that water that we get from the rivers, from the rain, from the ocean, from the lake, from the sea, every kind, from everywhere, the water that we receive, we use it as much as we misuse it. Okay, we use rivers to throw our wastes. We have seen pictures, we have read it in the newspapers, we have watched it in the news, in the TV, and even in the movies, and we have seen how the wastes are thrown into our rivers, into the ocean, into the lakes, everywhere. The human waste, the plastics, right? The pollution of these rivers are increasing. And with the growing need of electricity for people, the growing need of water for the people, there are more developments, there are more buildings of dams. Okay, and these dams are not smaller ones, they are large, huge projects. Okay, they are built in such a manner that they can provide huge amount of electric power, as well as water for the people. The population is growing. With the growth of that, the needs of the people are also growing, and with that, the development or the building of dams are also increasing. All right. So large dams are built, right? Now these large dams, obviously they act as water reservoirs, okay, where the water is reserved in times of drought, in times of scarcity. That water reservoir or the dams also produce electric power and supply electricity. Okay, but at the same time, it also causes many problems. Very importantly, it affects the environment. Okay, it results in the change in the downstream of the flow of a large river. The river flows in its own pace. Suddenly, if you build a dam and when you try to check the flow of the river, then it affects the system, the life system of that river, the life that the river also sustains, the fish, the plants, and the water life, okay, the aquatic life, all gets affected by the sudden disruption of the downstream flow of the river. So it upsets the ecological balance in the water. Okay, and many species of fish and other aquatic life, it vanishes as a result of that imbalance within a very short span of time, and that leads to further ecological problems, right? And so you see that how these developments, how on one hand water is very important, rivers are very important, these are lifelines, but on the other hand its utilization, its misuse is also creating many problems. Now apart from that, it also, when reservoirs are created, when dams are created, it also leads to the creation or the spread of waterborne diseases such as malaria, dysentery, etc. Okay, so the diseases which are waterborne, these are spread quickly, and these are formed, okay, these are caused by the creation of dams, by the creation of water reservoirs. And it also, such creation also leads to displacement of thousands of people from their villages. So for example, if there is a village, okay, and that village is right on the bank of this very important river, now these companies come to build a dam so that they can generate electric power, so that they can build reservoir. In order to do that, what they do, they start building the dam, and their building, it destroys the life of the people. They are forced to move out of their villages and go somewhere else. So the moving out from one place to another, from their home to the other places, these are called displacements. So the people are also forced to displace themselves as a result of building of dams and reservoirs. Okay.